In this video, we're going to use parametric equations in applications. It says, how many seconds pass until the cannonball reaches the ground? Round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. So this is actually going back to the previous video's question. We found the parametric equations for x of t and for y of t based on this scenario and this information where we were shooting a cannonball from a 6-foot initial height at 24 degrees with 79 feet per second of initial velocity. And they want to know how many seconds pass until the cannonball reaches the ground. Well, when you have these equations split up like this, it makes it very easy to figure this out because x of t is going to be the horizontal distance. So we don't really care about that because y of t is going to determine when we hit the ground. And y of t is the position of the cannonball as it's flying through the air. So we just want to say y of t is equal to 0 because 0 would be hitting the ground. And then we want to solve for when t would be equal to, we would want to solve to figure out what t is equal to. And we're going to have to use a quadratic equation here. So we're going to say that our time is going to equal negative b plus and minus root b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So we have this quadratic. We're going to use a quadratic formula. We're going to plug in b, which is negative 79 sine 24 degrees. For some of you, this might be the first time that you started to use trig with the quadratic equation, which would be kind of cool. And we have plus and minus root 79 sine of 24 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, which is negative 16. So what's nice about using this trig with the quadratic formula is we can just plug all this in the calculator. So we're going to say that, make sure you're in degree mode because you're using degrees. We're going to say 79 sine of 24 times, actually we'll just say that's equal, and then we'll square that. Then we're going to subtract, actually we're going to add, because a negative times a negative is a positive, so we're going to add 4 times 16 times 6. And then we're going to take the square root of that. And that's going to give us negative 79 sine 24 plus and minus 37.636, all divided by negative 32. So then we're going to say that that's t is equal to either negative 79 sine 24 plus 37.636 divided by negative 32, or t would equal negative 79 sine 24 minus 37.636 divided by negative 32. So let's see what each of those t's would equal. So we're going to add this with negative 79 sine 24. And then divide it by negative 32. We get a negative time, which is negative 0.17. Okay, can't occur. Can't have a negative time here. So then we're going to say negative 79 sine 24. And we're going to subtract that 37 number and then divide it by negative 32. And that gives you they say round to the nearest tenth, so that's 2.2 seconds. So it takes 2.2 seconds for the cannonball that's shot at an angle of 24 degrees with an initial velocity of 79 feet per second to hit the ground. So 2.2 seconds and it hits the ground.